Hey, everybody, it's 4 o'clock. Howie here with BP Realty. Today's topic: how do you buy a home in today's challenging market without overpaying? I'm super excited to share some insights, share some maybe some people maybe call them secrets, and just share some valuable data and information to help you all enjoy home ownership, but not have to overpay for it. So let's dig into it. We got a lot of information to cover. So first of all, what does overpay mean? Does overpay mean I don't want to pay more than what the home is listed for or what they're asking? Or does overpay mean pay more than what market value is for the home? Is market value the same as what the list price is of the home? Good questions. Let's talk about list price. Let's talk about asking price. Currently, there's about 6,500 people with a real estate license in West Michigan. That's considering the Greater Regional Alliance of Realtors Board, roughly 4,000, and then the West Michigan Lakeshore Association of Realtors Board, roughly 2,500. There's 6,500 roughly people that have a real estate license, which means they took a 40-hour class and learned how to pass a test, which means that depending on which one of those 6,500 people you call to have them come out, in fact, many times smart consumers interview 2 to 3 realtors. We encourage that. You're going to get 2 to 3 different opinions on list price. The reason you're going to get 2 to 3 different opinions is there is no exact science. There is no exact, the home is the same as every other home. There is no exact standard in our industry. Every realtor has their own opinion of what they think, how they feel about it, which sold comparables they use. Do they factor in the appreciation for the year that's going on? Hundreds of different opinions. Actually, thousands of different opinions, 6,500 of them. So list price could be at market value, could be over market value, could be under market value. Hold that thought. What about an appraisal? An appraiser is licensed in the state of Michigan. They have standards and guidelines that they have to follow. Is an appraisal market value? Does an appraisal show this is what the house is worth and this is list price? Not necessarily. What if I told you currently I have in my bag of, we have in our bag of education for clients, 2 appraisals done on the same home 2 weeks apart. So 2 different appraisal companies appraising the same home, one 2 weeks ago and one today, 2 weeks apart. One of the appraisals came in at 300. The other appraisal came in at 348,000. That's a $48,000 difference. Let me know if you'd like a copy of those. I'll send them to you. They're $48,000 difference. How's that possible? 2 appraisals. Well, an appraisal is still just like list price from a realtor. It's an opinion. It's that realtor's opinion based upon how did they arrive at the data? Which sold comparables did they use? How did they appreciate, depreciate, tweak it? What is their view on the appreciation, if any, right? An appraisal is someone's opinion. See, when a house comes for sale, it is either underpriced, spot on, or overpriced. Because there is no exact science. Market value. What is market value? Let's talk about that. Market value is the value put on properties by the market. Well, who's the market? The market is buyers and sellers. So market value of a home is what a buyer and a seller agree that it is, with data to validate that price. So again, market value is what a buyer and seller will agree to. So when a home goes under contract, the opinion has been given. Here is market value. Buyer and seller have said, this is how much this home is worth. This is market value. Then the appraiser doesn't get to give their opinion. They get to go validate, if they can, they get to go validate that price based upon the data, based upon sold comparables, based upon how many offers were on the home, based upon, are there more homes competition with this one? How long was the house on the market? Just all kinds of data. Can they validate what that home buyer and seller have said is market value? Market value is not an appraiser's opinion. Market value is not one realtor's opinion. Market value is what a buyer and seller say, this is what we think it is, if we have data to back up what the buyer and seller are saying. We have found specialists are an excellent way to know market value. When I say specialist, a specialist is not a generalist, not a jack of all trades, master of none. A specialist is trained, held to an industry high standard to make sure you're well educated to know this is what market value is. When we represent a buyer as a specialist, a buyer specialist, we are advocating for that buyer to help educate them as to, here are the comps, here are the highest comps, here are the lowest comps, here, like well-rounded, making sure you know what market value is for that home. Let's talk about an assumption. If a house is for sale for $500,000, a person puts their house for sale for $500,000, and a buyer makes an offer for $600,000. So asking price is 5, multiple offers, the highest offer is $600,000. The assumption, especially for us Dutch conservative West Michigan people, the assumption is they've overpaid, right? Like everyone is hearing all kinds of stories like this. Yeah, they paid 30 grand over asking, 50 grand over asking, 100 grand over asking. The perception is, oh my word, everybody is overpaying, meaning paying more for the home than what it's worth. But are they? Just because they're paying more than list price does not mean they're paying more than market value. We talked about the difference. Market value, again, is not what a realtor's opinion is, not what appraiser opinion is. Market value is buyer and seller have agreed this is market value, compiled with we have data to back that up. We have data to validate that number. The agent who listed that home at $500,000 chose to list it at $500,000. Their opinion was it was $500,000. The data that they chose to use said $500,000. But is there other data that proves it's $600,000? Market value, completely different than list price. Now, there are numerous strategies to position yourself as a stronger buyer. You don't want to overpay. And so we want to make sure you're well educated with a specialist to know the difference between asking price, list price, and market value. But once you've established, in this instance, a home is asking 500, but we've shown that market value is 600, doesn't mean you have to spend 600. Maybe we could get the house for you for 550. Get it 50 grand less than what market value is, but still win the bid. Guys, there's numerous strategies that we use to position you as a stronger buyer. For example, these are kind of simple, but they're straightforward to help you understand. If a buyer is putting 20% down payment, the seller perceives them as a stronger buyer than a buyer putting only 5% down, meaning they have more cash down, they're a stronger buyer. I have more confidence and faith and belief in that buyer. Okay? You want to position yourself as a stronger buyer to that seller. Well, like I said, we've got numerous strategies. Last time I looked, close to 30 different strategies to help you as a buyer position yourself as a stronger buyer in a multiple bid situation. Okay? Recently, one of our buyer specialists, Derek DeGraff, had the opportunity to meet with a buyer. These buyers actually had been working with a realtor, looking at homes. They had made offer on 6 different homes over an 11-month period of time with no home, with no acceptance, with no win. And Derek shares they were tired. They were exhausted. They had a little bad taste in their mouth about the roller coaster ride of the emotional high. We found one, we love it. Boom, didn't get it. Oh, we found another one, we love it. Boom, like they were exhausted. They were actually losing, according to Derek, they were losing hope about home ownership. We get introduced to them from a mutual friend. Derek sat down, did a buyer consultation with them, and helped them to understand everything we've just shared with you. Market value versus list price versus how to make yourself a stronger buyer. Discussed all the strategies with them. And Derek says it was interesting watching them because as we were sharing the stories and sharing the education, they were saying things like, I didn't know that. That would be very helpful. That's powerful. We can do that. Those types of things because they hadn't heard them before. They didn't know what they didn't know. And Derek said it was super fun just sharing the knowledge and the opinion and the education with them to help them do a great job of buying a home. Well, fast forward 2 weeks, 2 short weeks after the buyer consultation with this new buyer, Derek was excited to share that they were under contract for their perfect home. They wrote one offer with Derek, got it accepted, and were under contract with their perfect home. They were so excited. They were so glad they met Derek at BP Realty, and yeah, can't say anything more about it. Just a great success story. So, guys, if you or someone you know is struggling to find their home, or they're exhausted of the roller coaster ride of not getting their offer accepted time and time again, please reach out to us today. Our phone number direct is 616-550-7686. We truly look forward to serving you soon. Take care.